YouTube now.
Yep. All right. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed this game jam as much as we have. We've made some great games, and I think it's best if we just start off with going through these slides. So the first game to be shown off is Frisbee in the middle. I guess someone that's not me can talk about this version. Or do you want me to talk about it?
No, I can talk.
Go for it.
So, what do you want me to say? So this is a 3D game made in Godot where where you get to capture frisbees and try to do it before the dog does it. There is some dog food you can throw to the dog to distract him. Sometimes he gets distracted, sometimes he doesn't. Yeah, don't know what else to say. Really, there's some.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
Since last night.
What was that?
Did you add the penguin since?
Yes. We figured that everything needs penguins.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, there's a small animated penguin somewhere on the in the field.
Yes. Right. Unless there are any questions for it, I guess we can move on to the next one, which happens to be the same game, but this time in VR. So I wanted to make a VR version of the game, and so I did. It's basically the same game, except you have hands and you can't run around. So the game plays very differently, since we don't have like running around in the field mechanics. And the dog is super annoying because it keeps stealing your frisbees. So yeah.
How hard was it to port a Godot game to VR?
Very easy. I added an asset store thingy. Getting the hands working was a bit more tricky because I had to. That wasn't included in the released asset, so I just cloned the GitHub version into the project, and then it worked. The hands were the hands were just in there with finger tracking and stuff, although you have to press a button because the grabbing isn't implemented, at least as far as I could tell. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by how easy that was.
Does it work for all, like, VR?
It uses OpenVR, which is Steam VR. There are other plugins. I think it might be the case that you can just run another system, but we haven't tried it. In fact, we've only tried running it on Linux with Steam VR.
Do you happen to know which headset supports OpenVR?
I think almost all of them do, because Steam VR has backends for like Oculus and stuff. So I know the Valve headsets, obviously. I think the HP reverbs work. I think Oculus's work, but I'm not sure about that. And if not, I think all you would have to do is add another plugin for the system they use, and maybe change some stuff with the hand tracking. All right. Unless there's anything else, I'll move on to this one. Murder in a Bottle.
Yes. Should I explain what it is? Murder in a Bottle is the story about Sherlock Holmes and his visit to a fancy wine garden. And finally he has a day without murder. But to his grand surprise, there is a murder happening on it. And he obviously needs to find out which one the culprit is. So it's kind of a visual novel, point-and-clicky puzzle game where you solve puzzles by talking to people, getting clues, and to form your grand accusation of, oh, I know you did it. We have a web player up for it right now. As of currently, we had a lot of we had some conflicts, and apparently a lot of text have been reverted to, or some game mechanics was broken in a commit, but it should be kind of playable on the web right now.
Nice.
Nice, and it has really cool art, really cool sounds, and all this stuff.
Yes, that is very nice looking. And was it made in Unity with some plugin for visual novels?
Yes, it's made in Unity with a plugin called Nani Novel that allows us to basically write the entire game in a text file or in text files.
Huh. Awesome.
Mm.
All right. Anything else for this this group?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's move on to Ultimate Fishbee.
As the title proclaims, it is the ultimate Fishbee game. Fishbee is, of course, the sport for catching fish with a frisbee. The point of the game is throwing your fishbee to catch fish, and then to invest the money you gain from this fish that materializes into coin and value as soon as you catch them on the Frisbee market to buy more fancy fishbees. And all the fishbees are different and have different stats, and yeah, it's just super advanced, and we know the speedrunning scene is going to be all over it as soon as it's out. And it's out now since 11 minutes. So, I mean, what more could you possibly want? We have all the particles, if you manage to get a high score, that is. Yeah. And we have super sexy fishes that like to lick things.
Oh no!
Any questions?
Why?
What do they like to lick? That's what I want to know.
Well, you can see they're licking his headphones, and
Okay.
that one's licking the logo, and those two are kissing the title. I mean, it's pretty adorable.
Do actual fishes have tongues?
Yes.
What?
Who is the mysterious hooded person?
That's the shopkeeper.
Right.
Can we
Unabomber.
trust his frisbees?
Maybe
Okay.
Frisbee we trust.
you can buy some and see if they work.
True.
But watch out, he
Safe
price
insurance.
gauges them a lot.
He looks impatient.
Yes.
Well, he's here to make money, not let you look at his frisbees, you know.
And final question: would you recommend making your own engine and programming language for a game jam?
Absolutely, there hasn't been a single problem, not a single one. And
Nice.
you don't need to look at the source code that's distributed with the game. There's nothing shady going on in there at all. Just don't look at the source code.
Nothing shady, just like the salesman is not shady, right?
Yeah, he's the only shady thing.
Okay.
No questionable design decisions or weird patterns. Nothing like that.
Well,
It's just. Huh?
It's a game jam, so the code is supposed to be strange.
Oh,
If you have
okay,
good
then-
code, you've done it incorrectly.
Ah, okay.
At least if you
this is
made the code
best
bad
game jam.
during the Sunday. If it was bad already on Friday, and maybe
Well, it was bad already on Friday. It just never got better, to
okay.
be honest. Anyway,
Yep. Any other questions for this group? I suppose not. Let's move on to playing catch.
Okay. Yeah, so you're playing catch with your friend, and you're trying to keep the bogeys away from the edges. And pro tip: catch the birdies. And basically, I've since the halftime review, I've added some graphic. It's all assets because I suck at art, and some sound, and also like a high score and the menu, pause menu, and end screen and stuff like that. So it's a full-fledged game which escalates very quickly.
Very nice.
basically.
What's it built in?
Unity.
Right.
So basically the same game as halftime show, but it's some pretty stuff on top.
Yeah, always
Nice.
nice to have pretty stuff.
Yeah, it's been quite nice because I had pretty much the mechanics done by Friday night or
Yeah, that's the best situation.
Saturday morning, maybe. but so I could just add stuff to it. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's always very. It's better than the alternative of getting gameplay working in the last hour.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Let's move on to Frisbeegolf i Ryd.
Yes, this is Frisbeegolf in Ryd. As you saw yesterday, we managed to throw Frisbee like forward, and today we have implemented one level. That's 17 less than we set out to do, but I think that's fine. So now you can like throw the Frisbee like forwards, and you will progress the level, and then when you're further like in, then you will go like towards the final, I don't know, basket. And we also added a basket, so you can actually have to hit the like stick in the middle of the basket to make it fall into the goal. So, and we also have a main menu, and then we have a lovely submission by Tia, who made like the sound. So that was really nice. So yeah, that's the game. Any questions?
How does it progress? Like, does it matter where the Frisbee lands?
Yeah, you can't
always-
go into the woods. Then you have to start over. You have to
Right.
like hit. There's like a box, invisible box, like further into the level. And if you get into that box, you just immediately progress.
To the
We
next
want,
image.
yeah, we wanted to like add nice like little text that pops up, like, but yeah, we didn't have time for that. But yeah, so you have to just throw it far enough, otherwise you have to restart.
And if I throw it halfway, I end up having to restart.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to you have to like come far enough for it to go.
All right. Very cool. Let's move on to Project Fishbee-portal.
Yeah, that's us.
Fishbee is actually a trademark of our game, so you're
Well, it
not
says
allowed to say that.
Frisbee. Oh, did I say Fishbee?
You did.
Yeah.
I have been corrupted by the licking fish.
So we had some ideas. We ended up making something different than what we had planned. We made a thing where you can walk around inside a box, and actually through the box as well, because we didn't have time to implement collision checking. But it's networked multiplayer. As you can see, it syncs everyone's positions.
Very nice. I would just... Oh, yeah. What was the question?
What's the engine?
There is no engine. Well, it's the engine is the browser.
Ooh, cool.
What's drawing the graphics and stuff? Is it the canvas?
It's the 2D canvas
Alright.
API.
I think you're selling yourself short here, because I clearly see 2 Frisbees in these images, and you only have 1 in the feature list, so...
Those are actually people.
Oh.
The Frisbees are people too.
They're clearly round.
People are Frisbees.
People
Can be round.
Frisbee is you. New puzzle
Anyone's a
game.
frisbee if you throw them hard enough.
That's true.
That's the spirit.
Yes. Alright, anything else
Just
for
have to
this?
flatten them first.
Yeah. Hydraulic press and throw them, then you have a frisbee. Alright. Whoa, someone has been fancy. Intern Simulator.
Yeah, that was us. So, just for notice, we were not able to submit to the submission time on time. Like, I was exporting at 12, and then I went to the page, and it was like, it's not there to submit. I'm like, okay, so I guess, so we uploaded it separately to itch, so it's uploaded, but
You're
basically...
fired.
Yeah, we
Thank
can
you.
add it back, I think. Or we can add it in retrospect.
Okay, I'll send I'll the link after. But yeah, so this basically we took the deadline, I think corporation or whatever it was, and we kind of went off on a tangent, and we basically built Overcooked, but for our office. So essentially, you're an intern. You have to deliver coffee and papers to people around the office, so their desks or whatever it is. And you can throw your objects, you can throw your coffee at them, you can throw your papers at them. You can roll. Multiplayer technically is possible, but it's not implemented. And there's music, and the music is dynamic, and it's actually a finished game, and this is the first time of this in a long time, so I'm very proud of this. And we did an amazing job. The team's pretty good, but yeah, check it out. It's pretty fun. It also works in WebGL, so we uploaded to WebGL.
I could add to it that in the sense of how the gameplay works, there's a timer that goes down, and if you don't complete your task in the time, your timer goes down. But if you do complete the task, you gain more time in your timer. And so you're just in a never-ending loop of corporate climbing, trying to make sure you deliver on time. And when it's at 0, then you just fail and you get fired.
But you always stay as an intern, so you never actually climb up the ladder.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, this everyone's dream, this game.
Exactly.
My life.
Is there a point to throwing coffee at someone?
You can deliver things faster because currently so there's actually a difficulty that slowly increases over time. So every minute, the difficulty goes up by 1. So you start to get more and more tasks quickly over time. So if you initially, actually currently the build version of it starts at the second highest difficulty because we're trying to make sure the thing works. But normally you start at difficulty 0 or 1 or whatever, and yeah, you have 15 seconds between tasks, so you have to get the coffee delivered to somebody. And there's also 2 areas you can't even deliver things to. We just didn't get a chance to remove the triggers for them. But so by throwing it, you can just throw it at the area faster and then get another coffee and then go to the next area because they're kind of far enough away that by the highest difficulty, it is efficient. You will have to be throwing your coffee and your papers to get this stuff done fast. But yeah,
right.
Scalding
All about
people actually make them happier.
Quantity over quality is our name.
Exactly. And rolling, and we have rolling, and it's really good rolling. So
I'm sold. All right, awesome. Oh yeah, I think
you need to
yes, I will
reload.
refresh this because we have more games. Happy Frisbee.
Okay, so Happy Frisbee is a platformer that I created. So you have a Frisbee with a personality, and you drag your mouse around the screen to create a trajectory, and once you let go, it sends the Frisbee flying in that direction. And you can change direction mid-air, and it creates this little slow motion effect, which is very cool. And the goal is to get to the end of the level and hit the flagpole and progress to the next level. And you beat all the levels, and that's it.
Awesome.
And you can't hit the ground, is that what it is?
No, you can't hit the ground.
Wow.
Or else you'll explode.
Nice.
Then the Frisbee gets sad.
Yeah.
Have you made several levels?
Yes, there's 10 levels.
Oh, that's many.
Ooh, wow. Is there anything like a resource that you have to spend or something so you can't just change direction all the time, or is it just...
No.
Okay.
Just keep going as many times you want.
Okay, cool.
Alright, thank you.
Awesome. Nice job. Yeah, so this game made by Biggs Games, he's apparently not available. So apparently it's a game where you have had too much to drink and need to navigate across the traffic. I guess it's probably easier if we just download it and play it during the playtesting. But that's also a game that was made. And now we get to the, so before we get to this part, is there anyone else who didn't add their game to the slide but still want to show off? Then raise your hand. Well, raise your voice. Right, I suppose not. So this is sort of the end of the jam. We'll do some playtesting after this, but before we do that, I want to first encourage you to fill out the feedback form, which Jesper will send out soon.
Now,
okay. If you enjoyed the jam and want to do it more, there will be a fall game jam in the fall after the summer. And hopefully this will be physically possible. Well, it will be possible to have it physically. And in our case, it will be in Linköping. But so I guess that means it will be hard for some of you to join, but it's been great having you here from all around the world. We do have a mailing list. I think you can sign up for it somehow. I hope Jesper has a way to do that. If you want more info about the jams, it's not super spammy, we send a few emails per jam, but it's a good way to keep track, or just listen to the announcements channel in this group.
Yes, and regarding email, if you fill in your email in the form, there is a form for, or there is a section for I want emails.
Yes.
So it's all in there.
All right. And that takes us on to an empty slide, which is weird. It takes us on to playtesting. So hopefully you've managed to get your games uploaded to itch. And if you have, there will be plenty of games available to download. So I think the idea now is that we start testing out the games and have some fun. And that's it for the presentation. Thanks for coming, everyone.
And I think that what we can do is that we can create a few more channels, maybe. So we can try to, so we aren't a lot of people in one channel. Would that be one idea?
Yes, that sounds
cool.
good.